What is the Care and Needs Scale? So the Care and Needs Scale, or CANS as it's currently known, is a standardised clinical tool that measures how much a support person needs across the full 24-hour day period, from fully independent through to needing someone present around the clock. Clinicians use it inside NDIS reports, including functional capacity assessments, to turn they need a lot of help into a consistent, defensible measure that planners can compare and rely on. So why it shows up in NDIS reports, it's one number and it's backed by evidence. So the 4 slides here we've got are consistent. It's the same scale. So it's applied the same way for every person. So support needs can be compared fairly. It's a 24-hour view. It captures the whole day and night, including overnight needs that are easy to miss. Bit of advice here, generally speaking, people need to be answering these questions for CANS based on an average day or a bad day. It's the bad days, the average days, not the great days, are when you really need to support. So try and answer those questions based on an average so that it's clear what supports you need on those days. So 24-hour view, it captures the whole day and night, including overnight needs. It's evidence-based, so the level is justified by interviews, records and observation, not assigned from a diagnosis, and it's planner friendly. Planners see both the level and the reasoning behind it in language the NDIS uses. So CANS is one tool within a broader assessment. It supports clinical reasoning. It does not replace it. The scale at a glance, from 0 to 7, there are 8 levels. So level 0, independent, can live in the community without support for everyday needs. Level 1 to 2, intermittent, support now and then, for example, weekly or fortnightly help with specific tasks. Levels 3 and 4, daily support, needs help most days with everyday activities like meals, self-care, or getting into the community. Levels 5 to 7, high support, cannot safely be left alone for extended periods. Supports or supervision is needed through the day and at the highest levels overnight as well. So the key phrase here for me is cannot safely be left alone for extended periods. Those words have a lot of weight when you're writing in reports, and you need to consider using the correct language and mapping it to the functional domains. So high level equals more support needed over 24 hours. Exact level descriptions are clinical. See our full CANS guide for the detail. So what it actually measures: support needed, not here are the supports needed, not diagnosis. Personal care, showering, dressing, meals, medication, supervision and safety, time that someone needs to be present or checking in, prompting, reminders and cues needed to start and finish tasks, overnight needs, support or availability required through the night, community access, help needed to get out, attend appointments, participate, etc. in community, and decision making. So support with money, planning, and everyday choices. It's very important to understand that 2 people with the same diagnosis can score very differently. CANS measures the support actually needed. It's not based around diagnosis. What a level can mean in practice, how the score is used. A CANS level quantify things that matter in funding decisions. How many support hours are justified, whether overnight support is needed, and whether a 24-hour shared support environment like a supported independent living or SIL fits the evidence. Important, the level is evidence, not a formula. The NDIA make funding decisions independently, weighing the whole report makes the support need visible and defensible. It does not guarantee an outcome. What to expect during the assessment. So part of a bigger picture. So CANS is usually completed with a broader functional capacity assessment, not a separate test to sit. Number 2, conversation, not an exam. So the clinician talks with the participant and with family or support workers where consented. Number 3, records are reviewed. So reports, support notes, and incident information all inform the rating. Number 4, a typical day counts. As I was discussing before, the rating reflects a typical day, not the best day. And honesty about hard days matters. So there is nothing to pass or fail. The goal is picture of real support needs. How you can help the evidence. So 4 things families can do. Keep a support diary. So a week of notes on what help was actually given and when is powerful evidence. Describe typical days. Resist the urge to present the best day or the worst day. Planners need to understand the ordinary ones. Note the nights. So overnight prompts, checks and disturbances are easy to forget and heavily weighted. Make sure you note the nights. Share the hard stuff. So incidents, near misses and carer strain belong in the evidence, not left unsaid. What CANS is and what CANS isn't. So CANS is a clinician applied tool inside your own assessment, a measure of support needed over 24 hours, evidence that supports funding requests and reviews, one tool among several, often used with HUDAS 2.0 and others. CANS is not a test the participant can pass a funding formula. The NDIA decides independently in the end. It's not based on diagnosis alone. It's very much based on functional impact. The NDIA's new ICANN supports needs assessment that is a separate NDIA run process starting from 2027. So CANs and ICANN sound alike, but are different instruments used by different people for different purposes. Before you decide, some important information. So the information here is general in nature and does not guarantee NDIS funding, plan approval, or any particular outcome. Assessment recommendations depend on the participant's circumstances, available evidence, and professional clinical judgment. NDIA decisions are made independently. Services are subject to participant consent, funding, clinical suitability, and agreed scope of work. Some matters may require in-person assessment or additional evidence. NDIS reform details continue to evolve. If you have any questions about CANs in an NDIS report, you can reach out to us at functionalcapacityassessments.com.au, 1300 976 400. We're a nationally based telehealth functional capacity assessment business. We do lots of them. We do them very well. Our language is excellently mapped to the functional domains inside the NDIS. But again, this information is general only and need to be super clear that no NDIS funding or outcome is ever guaranteed, as NDIA decide themselves what funding will be available to participants when they put assessments or reports in.